my friends. Welcome to Sort of Brilliant, a show where the characters are made up and Hogwarts house sorting absolutely does matter. My name is Rachel.
And I'm her best friend and co-host, Lauren. Every other week, we're going to invade a fandom and determine whether your favorite character belongs in Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. There's bound to be some arguments along the way.
But in the end, we're always right.
Well, according to us.
According to us.
Now I want to sing. Dun, 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 dun.
Why are you doing the Imperial
Yes.
March and not
Hell
the...
No.
yeah, that shit
Yes.
bops!
And then the Imperial March goes into dun, 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 dun. So, hey, everyone. Hey, welcome to this week of Sob Pod, Sort of Brilliant. If you're American, happy 4th. It's the birth of our nation. More importantly, it's the birth of our producer, Hannah. Hey, Hannah, say hi.
Hey.
She's here. Sometimes she is here, but she's not allowed to speak.
It's true. They gag me.
But we've started a tradition here at the pod. Well, kind of a tradition. It's going to be a tradition. It's only been my birthday since we were born. So now we're making it a tradition that when somebody involved with the podcast has a birthday, they get to do whatever they want for the episode. So, as you know, I did Veronica Mars, who I'm married to, and she is my wife in every way possible. But Hannah, who did you choose?
OG Star Wars.
Woo!
Yeah.
Burr, 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 burr. Oh, no, that's wrong.
There you go, yeah. Droid noises.
John Williams. Yeah, we're not sorting them, which are the better characters, but whatever.
They are.
Who?
The droids.
Droids!
Rachel and I rewatched these movies, and I only really sorted R2-D2 the entire.
She only talked about R2-D2 the whole fucking
I
time.
didn't sort him because I know where he is, but I
really want to know what you sort C-3PO as, but I really want you to do a droids episode, which you know. Yes, I've asked you to do this episode.
It's going to be an episode.
I can't
That's not this episode,
be a real
though.
thing.
I'm so sorry. This is going to be a
characters.
letdown immediately.
I can't believe
How
it's
can you
gonna
not
be a real
believe it's
thing.
going to be an episode? We're going to be like that time that R2 went, brr, 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 brr. Like that was really that house. Like, you know.
That has to be like that's going to be a very quick episode.
No.
Oh my God. Hannah, how come you didn't pick that for this one?
Because I don't have a lot of opinion. I just want to hear
Gotcha.
you guys talk about it.
Oh, Lauren has a lot.
I know.
I have a lot to say.
She's talked to me about R2-D2, and that's why I was like, you have to do an episode on the droid.
I don't know. I'm not part of the Star Wars fandom. I don't know if this is like a, oh, you're different from other girls thing. But R2-D2 is legitimately my favorite character. Like, I don't know what to say to anybody.
That's a very valid thing.
Thank you.
He's your favorite character.
Thank you.
He's very cute.
So.
He is. Yes.
I'll say that.
Yes. Is he?
He's
an adorable little mastermind. So
he's the smartest person in all of these movies.
Yes.
So
have you guys heard or seen this thing where C-3PO supposedly in the original 3 movies has a silver limb? I think it's silver leg. And the rest of him's gold. I'm pretty sure it was someone on the internet fucking lying.
Me in the middle of Rise of the Empire, like, does he have a silver leg? Look at it. Tell me if he does. It's like, what are you talking?
Yeah, because
Rachel, well, Lauren probably knows, but Rachel, do you know that like the way that Star Wars exists now is not how they originally released it? Because
she does.
Lucas has fucked with it several times. Oh, of course.
So they did that.
Makes sense.
I knew they like added scenes and remastered things, but would they have changed his coloring to the point where it was just all gold? Is this a lie? Has the internet lied to me? Can't deal with it.
I actually, off the top of my head, cannot remember, but I feel like it's possible.
I'm going to Google that
There's
shit
so
later.
much really bad CGI that they added because they were like, it's 2000 and CGI is at its peak.
Like when Luke is fighting
everything
with the fucking guy with the lightsabers and they don't even hit, like he doesn't even hit him and the guy goes flying. It's so funny.
Oh, God.
He got hit by Luke's dramatics, not his lightsaber.
That's a powerful weapon.
Luke.
Don't discount it.
That's true. Well, Hannah, you get to pick where we start.
I get to pick?
You definitely get to pick.
It's the fastest intro we've ever done.
Full disclosure, we had a really great intro, and then Audacity crashed on
Rachel's
Rachel,
Audacity crashed, and then she was like, I was going to delete that entire intro anyway, so...
Yeah.
And Lauren and I were like, that
shit.
was the best intro. What are you talking about? Anyway.
I like the second one way more.
Uh-huh.
It just happened to work that way for me.
Uh-huh.
Can I pick where we end?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you pick the order. You pick
I want
the
to
order.
end. I want to end on Han because he's my favorite.
Okay.
Yay, me
Yay.
too.
And just to be clear to
Shocking.
everybody, for no reason whatsoever, we're including the later movies. Right?
Yeah.
Lauren is including the later movies.
That
And Rachel
is
and I
completely
will
fine.
nod and be super supportive because we totally talked about this beforehand. And yeah, that's how that's going.
We are very
Why would you not
Organized.
be supportive? It's their characters. It's who they are. And
I am very supportive.
I'm going to plug their nerds are typing again because this is what I was saying before Rachel was like, oh,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I clicked the close button. My Audacity crashed. Like, whatever.
I didn't click
She
the
didn't do
close button.
shit.
It
It
crashed.
crashed on her.
It had the audacity.
It had the audacity.
No, but like they were, they were bitching about the sequels, like the Star Wars fandom does, and Rachel's part of the Star Wars fandom now. But
Yeah.
but no, I think we were saying we talked about this with the Nerds Are Typing. They actually talked about this. That sometimes it can be hard to type characters because the writers completely lose the thread of who the character is and just totally fuck them up. And we, as the viewers, readers, experiencers, know them a little bit better and get the feel for where the characters are meant to be going in their growth. So it's completely accidental and happenstance when writers fuck up a story but still manage like, I know you could say, like, Luke was out of character, but he's still in the same house. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's true.
I would agree with that. That he's out of character, but it's still the same house, so it still supports it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just like not to bring this to Marvel, but I feel like a lot
Wow.
of things. I feel like the end of Endgame for Steve Rogers is out of character, but it still is a super Slytherin, so it furthers our purpose, which is
If
all
the
we care
hat
about.
Fits,
Ah!
heyo.
Oh God. Okay, so let's do Luke first then.
Okay.
Yeah.
You live. All right.
That is probably what we would have decided. That's amazing,
Wow.
Hannah.
Shut up, Rachel. I know what you're saying.
We're
Shut
connected.
up. That's definitely where we were starting.
Uh,
I had it all planned beforehand.
you all,
We're gonna talk
What?
about Luke Skywalker.
For sure. He's kind of important.
He's important.
A little.
He's kind of annoying.
Kind of.
he is
He's kind.
the Skywalker of the Skywalker saga.
And
That's
does
true.
he ever let you know it?
Does he?
Yes.
I'm here to save you. Don't worry. The hero has arrived. I
100%.
wonder what house he's in.
Would this be easier for
Oh,
us?
no.
Like Rachel and I don't really go here. Hannah goes here. Would it be easier to kind of do like like movie by movie if you could think through the movie instead of like jumping around?
I kind of have notes in order, but we can just jump around as conversation takes us. But
I
yeah,
don't remember.
probably
anything.
chronological in general is easier. I mean, like, when you meet him, he's already complaining about how he wants to, like, get off of the rock that
But I
he's
was
on
gonna go
and
some
go on an
power
adventure.
converters in the Toshi system. Whatever the fuck he
Oh my
says.
god. The fucking voice.
I was gonna go get some power converters.
Yeah, he's
Uncle
really upset
Ben.
about it.
Is it possible that he was responsible for the murder of his family just to get off that fucking rock?
Oh my god.
What, like
Is
he
it
paid somebody?
Organized it.
Paid a mercenary?
Yeah, like, and then just pretended it was all dramatic after that. It
Do you
affected
think
him.
he wouldn't have
He
left
wasn't
if
really,
they didn't
though.
die?
His name's
Yeah,
not Ben.
he definitely wouldn't have
What the
left
hell's his
if they weren't
uncle's
dead.
name? Yeah, he would have. He didn't care
He
at
would have.
all.
It would have taken a little
He
while
stored-
longer.
He would have.
He-
He would have felt guilty
He
about it a
stared
little
into that
bit.
hole
Yeah.
and he was like, "Let's go, Ben."
Because they were dead, though. I'm telling you, I think the guilt would have got him for a while longer. He would have said, they were like, just give us another year of farming, farm boy. And he was like, oh, this sucks. But he was going to do it, because of what
I
he
feel
is.
like he was doing that thing though that Gryffindors do
Luke's
when
a
like
Gryffindor.
someone's like,
Thank you for somebody for
She
saying
gave it away.
anyway, he's a Gryffindor. If you weren't following this line of conversation,
Yeah.
Nobody was. They were like, "What's the house that they hate the most?"
Sorry, it's the best house, but it's the most annoying. Okay, just to be
That's
clear.
true. I agree.
What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, right. I feel like he was doing that thing when Obi-Wan Kenobi is trying to be like, you should like go on this thing and like become a Jedi and like learn the Force and blah blah blah. And he's like, no, I don't think. Where Gryffindors are like, no, I don't think I
I'm not the
can.
one.
But it's like you really want to,
No.
but you're like, no, it's not really
he
me.
definitely did this can't be me. I'm not the one that Gryffindors do. Yeah, they don't want to take that.
Yeah.
They're like, I already am responsible for so much shit through my own violation. Why would I let somebody else put that on me?
And then later, when they get into the role, they're like, I was born to do this.
Obviously, no one else could have done this but me.
Yeah. He's very that.
No,
He's
I don't
very
know. He's
stereotypically
like-
Gryffindor, I think.
Well, and like immediately, what? He sees Leia's message and is like, I have to go save this chick somewhere in the whole wide fucking
100%.
galaxy.
He's like hero complex
he's
activated.
like, oh my god, a boner and somebody that I can be solely responsible for? Like, let's go.
A damsel in distress.
He's like, hey, it's not, is his name Uncle Ben? What the fuck is his uncle's name? It's not Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben.
It is Uncle
really?
Ben.
And Ben Kenobi? I
think it's Uncle Ben.
George
It's
Lucas,
two
you
Bens.
couldn't do two
Ben
different
squared.
fucking names? All right, whatever.
Is it really?
I think. Okay, I'm gonna Google it,
I don't
guys. But
know.
I'm pretty
I've
sure
been
it's Uncle
saying
Ben.
Uncle Ben, but you know, no, but he was.
Or are we just? Is that Marvel? What are we doing?
Spider-Man
here?
on the
Sorry.
brain.
Probably,
No,
yeah.
Uncle Ben sounds correct.
Yeah, it's Uncle Ben.
Wow. Unreal.
But for like,
Incredible.
I guess I don't know how like usual the name Kenobi is in a galaxy far, far away a long time ago. But he's like, you know, she's like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. And he's like, I wonder if that's old man Kenobi down by the whatever, the coal mines. It's like, why would it be? Why
How
would
many
it be?
Kenobis do you know in this desert?
Why would it be? There's a million
scarcely
planets that
populated.
you're aware of. Like, why would it be old man Kenobi down by the coal mines on fucking Tatooine? Nobody lives on fucking Tatooine. Why would there be anybody there?
So proud of himself for getting
He's
it.
like, oh my god, I solved the mystery. And then he R2.
They die, and he's like, yes, I'm free from my responsibilities. I can go be a
And
Jedi.
R2 manipulates him into taking his little, you know, whatever it is, cup
Yep.
off, and then he goes off to find Mr. Kenobi, and then Luke's going after him.
He
whatever.
gleefully gets his ass beat several times
He does.
before
I was
that,
just
though.
gonna say that.
Yep.
He's like, "Oh my god, sand people," and then he's like, "Let's get closer."
Yeah.
There was no reason. They were like 50.
None.
They were like,
Well, the droids and Obi-Wan are both like, that's danger, and he's like, let me walk straight into it.
no. But before like Obi-Wan has to come, like he shows up and saves him, you know, as like the archetype or whatever. But they hear sand people, and he has to get out binoculars to find them, like a million yards away or whatever. And he's like, "Oh my god, sand people!" When the night before he was like, "C-3PO, we can't go out because of the sand people." And then he's like, "What happens if I walk closer to the sand people?" Like,
Well, now I'm a Jedi. I can do whatever I
it's
want.
not until later, but you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's already got it in him. He's like, no, I'm going to do that. I want to do that now. He went from, I couldn't possibly, it couldn't be me to like get me on a
Also,
fucking
I didn't.
space
You
car.
know what was like, I didn't really think about this over the course of the movie, but he's like obsessed with, I guess it's because Uncle Ben is his dad's stepbrother, but he's like, who's my dad? Where's my father? Like, not one word about his fucking mother. He's like, my dad has to tell me who I am. So
Oh yeah, that's another. He has daddy issues,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's a big Gryffindor
Yeah.
thing.
That was that's every fucking time.
And then,
Every
and then
time.
Kenobi's like, I knew your dad, and Luke's like, that's not a weird coincidence. Tell me more about him. Like,
We're not
Oh my
there
God.
yet, but like the way he is with his father is ridiculous. I can't with this character. I'm sorry. He's so
But the
ridiculous.
way he is only a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
no, it's. I don't even know if what we're saying is even like it's proof to us. I don't know if the listeners are getting
It
anything
is.
out of this, but
It's true. We're still right
like,
either way.
You know, he's so like high and mighty about Han because Han's not like strictly like do the right thing. So he's like, oh my God.
He's not idealistic.
He's like at every turn, he's like, oh my God, Han, stop being a dick. And Han's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm here helping your sorry ass. And he like, you know, he shows up to save Leia and Leia's not into it. And it's just like that entire time they're like, he's like, I got this with no gun, like walking through the Imperial, the Death Star. Like,
he would have been head boy. Like, he has the moral superiority to be head boy.
He would have been prefect first, too. He would have been both.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
For sure.
Definitely would. Oh, he's a Percy. You're right. He
is.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I might draw the line there.
Well, no, he wouldn't. I'm sure he wouldn't do all of the things Percy did.
But the aura.
But like the aura of it. Yeah.
It's giving me Percy.
Clean. He's very idealistic. He's on that end of the Gryffindor spectrum.
You do it because it's right.
Yeah. And I think his life is completely different than Han's.
Well, yeah.
Like he hasn't gone through a lot of shit. Like he doesn't know anything about his family. So like he doesn't really have that hanging over his head.
Yeah.
As like a tortured backstory until later.
Look at his end. Well, yeah, and like at the point too when they were like, you need to stay another year, and he's like, I want to get off this planet, and then Kenobi's like, you have this great destiny ahead of you. You're a Jedi. Come with me. He's like, I can't leave the planet. Like,
they just told me I have to stay another year.
Well, yeah, I gotta do what my Uncle Ben says. Like, you know.
My Uncle Ben. I can't believe his name is Uncle fucking Ben.
Yeah, but then you know, it's like, but then you know, he immediately takes on responsibility for Leia and Han. So it's where he transfers.
100%.
That is true.
You know, and then like you know, they actually like make it to the Resistance once they rescue Leia. And I remember because I was like, what the fuck? They had him in like the pilot jumpsuit or whatever, and I think they gave him a rank right away. Well, he was captain because he had a ship, but he was about to jump into the ship, and one of the like grizzled old Resistance like generals probably was like, You're flying a plane? Are you sure you can like, I don't fucking know you from Adam. Like, you're gonna fly? And then his little farm boy friend shows up and like, Luke here was the best flyer on Tatooine. And the general's like, okay. So they just let him go into a fucking...
It like, just works out for him.
One of the 10 ships that they own in the entire Resistance. They were like, sure, random man, fly it. Like,
it does all just work out for him. It's true.
Always falls into place.
I'm sorry.
Even like later on, he shouldn't be as good as he is. Like right away.
I apologize for calling that man random. I think that was Wedge Antilles, who is a legend in a rocket. So,
who the fuck?
Random Star Wars character.
Okay,
he's not random.
Bathilda Backshot, like the. All right, you saved yourself from the nerds. You're good. Continue.
No, they're gonna be like, that wasn't Wedge Antilles, and I'll be like, oh my god.
You can't please all the nerds because they're just split down the middle on everything. So someone's always going to come after you.
Supernatural fandom.
Star Wars fandom is scary.
It is.
I don't.
It's heavily penis infested, which also concerns me. So.
Yeah, like I've loved Star Wars since I was a child, but I don't go to the fandom because it scares me.
Yeah,
like,
they've always scared
Marvel
me.
fandom's scary enough, man. I don't need to dip my toe
now
into
that we've insulted all the people listening to this episode.
They know who we mean. They know exactly who we mean.
Not all Star Wars fans. Hashtag.
Okay, you should know who we mean. Like who scared Kelly Marie Tran off the freaking internet? Yeah, that shit. Yeah. That shit.
Yeah,
those kind. They suck.
The gatekeepers.
Those people.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the first one. That was 4. Then you show up at 5, and he's just like, what? It's like, what the like? How long was between those movies? Was it like 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Enough time for them to move their base to another planet, right? However long that was. And Luke's just like, I run the whole Resistance now.
He does.
I just don't know. I don't know another way to. Yeah, he just is going out on his own into the tundra and fighting Bigfoot and.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And yeah. And then they have to evacuate the planet. And he's on the ship with R2D2, and he fucking had a vision that he needs to go to the Dagobah system. So
It's me. I have to go. I know it. My destiny.
My gut told me.
Yeah, Ben Kenobi showed up and he's dead, but I should listen. And that's the other thing we kept talking about too, Rachel and I, throughout this entire, like, we were watching it. He knew Ben for like 3 seconds. And Ben dies, and he's like, every time somebody mentions his name, he like clutches his chest and is like, oh, Ben!
He's such a drama queen.
But
Oh my
also that
god.
he's like, Ben meant so much to me, and you're like, what?
Yeah, Ben meant so much to my journey. He got me here. He's the reason that I'm here. And it's just so sad that he's gone. It's like I can still hear his voice. Oh, I did. And he's telling me about my destiny.
But like everybody's like scrambling to get off the planet or whatever because the Empire is showing up, and he like helps them fight. But then like he doesn't know if the Millennium Falcon made it out, and he's in R2's like, where are we going? Like, what the fuck? Turn around. And Luke's like, I have to go to the Dagobah system. That's where my destiny is, or whatever. So
Goes there and pisses Yoda off.
We were
My
talking
destiny.
about that too. Like, Yoda's not telling him who he is, and he's calling him like little man, little creepy creature. And then Yoda's like, I am a Jedi Master, and he's like, oh my god, Master, I'm so sorry.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yoda
Fell right in the line.
Yoda reading him for filth is probably one of my favorite scenes.
It's so
in
funny.
all of Star Wars.
Yoda didn't give a fuck.
But like all of the flaws that he points out, they're all largely like Gryffindor hangups.
Okay,
like
yes,
being
go
super
for it, yeah.
impatient because you want to like dive head first into everything. Your ego and your pride, feeling entitled for whatever fucking reason, and having self-doubt at the same time.
Well, an old man in a
paradox.
cave handed him a glowy sword and told him he was a Jedi. So he has a right to be a little entitled.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And like when he couldn't get the ship out of the swamp or whatever, and Yoda's like, wow, you need to let go of your emotions. And he's like, I can't.
And then he
I can't
fights
do
his
it. My
father,
emotions are
but it's
so
really
important."
him.
Yeah, no. It's like, I need my emotions. I'm trying to remember what I said to you, Rachel, like this stuff. Oh, because it's like the whole Jedi thing or whatever is like is don't embrace the fear, like let go of the fear and the hatred, or like the anger and like embrace the really good emotions or whatever. And like that's such a struggle for Luke and for Gryffindors.
Gryffindors run on anger.
Yeah, and also like they
yeah.
just feel all of the emotions, but like the gut reaction that they get is usually based on anger. So yeah, can be hard for them.
Yeah, I told Lauren I'd probably be a Sith. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it.
Well, but when they like that was the other thing too.
Not for any political reasons, just because I would be drawn through my anger. Like it would just happen.
Full
I'd be like, oh
disclosure
shit.
that Rachel's a Kylo Ren, but
Rachel's a Kylo Ren.
That is
What?
the worst thing I've ever heard you say to Rachel.
Whoa, maybe when I was 4 I had that fucking kind of temper.
all right, fine. You're an evolved.
I admit, growing up, there may have been.
No, but
God.
listen, I love that scene too because I'm like, he didn't fucking learn anything. And then Yoda's, like looking into the future, and he's like, Leia and Han are in trouble, and Luke like jumps out of his seat and is like, I gotta go save them. And Yoda's like, You can't leave, your training's not done. Like, they'll be fine or they won't be, but you going there is not gonna help. And Luke is like, I'm the only one who can save them.
The only one who can do it is my responsibility.
But it does work out once again.
It does.
It just works out for him.
It does
Unreal.
just work out. Which is the thing that happens a lot with like the quintessential stereotypical Gryffindor main character.
Yeah, because Gryffindors are like the perfect protagonist, right? Like, they annoy you, but you want them to succeed for some reason.
Exactly. They're super obnoxious because they have the hero complex. and the confidence, but also hate themselves.
It all comes from feeling like you're responsible for everything.
Yes.
Which then mingles with the ego of like, okay, only I can do it because
Also
like
true.
I'm responsible for it, but also this is stroking my ego. So it's good all around.
Yeah, it's your.
We like when people need us.
I don't fucking know how
depend on
that's
us.
part of the paradox too. That you're like. Yeah, it's the quintessential paradox. Like I'm not full of myself. I can't be full of myself. I don't really deserve any of this praise. Like, I'm just doing this because it's my responsibility. It's just my job. I just have to. But also, if you don't fucking thank me for it, I'm going to go off a cliff. Like,
well, this is a big reason I don't like committing to projects or anything. Like when Lauren wanted to do the podcast, I was like, that's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to think if anything goes wrong, it's my fucking fault. Like maybe I let me just, because I'm going to disappoint her at some point. Like it's going to be bad. And then I got into it and I was like, I need to know exactly what kind of graphics to make. I need to know exactly what we need to be doing. How do I do? Is there an algorithm? Like it immediately gave me so much stress. And I was like, but then I would be like, but did I make this pretty? Can you tell me that I made this pretty thing? Like,
I was going to say, this is an awful contrast to me, who, when we began the podcast, I was just like, Rachel, we just have to do this. Like, stop freaking out about it. And eventually convinced her. And then when she comes to me and is like, we have to plan out social media. What do we do? Like, I'm going to plan it out for the entire week. And I'm just like, just tweet stuff. People like it. She's like,
I'm like, but what do I say? But what do I say exactly?
Because it needs to be perfect so people will give you validation.
Right.
Exactly. Well, because what's to me, the opposite of validation? Anything, if it's not validation, it's criticism.
And they hate you.
Yeah, and you hate me. And you hate what I've created and done, so I can't take it.
And that's me personally. This is a piece of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put my soul into everything.
But like when Rachel says criticism, it's like we can take anything as criticism.
Okay.
Your lack of thanking us is criticism.
All right, but
exactly.
All right, getting back to Luke, that's the other thing too. Speaking of making things, he fucking makes his own lightsaber, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're a Jedi now?" What? No, he didn't. He did not. How did he make a lightsaber? This is flaws in the storytelling. It's flaws in the storytelling. I can't really blame Luke for this, but it's, it's just everything working out again. He's the And like, here's the problem. Whatever. Lucas planned this out as a literal hero cycle. So that's how it has to go, right? It has to hit all the
100%.
9 points on the circle or whatever, so it comes back around. So, Luke's got to come into his reckoning or whatever, and I guess that was building the fucking lightsaber, but they didn't show it. So I'm like, he comes back with this new colored lightsaber, and I'm looking at it like, where'd you get that crystal, man? Like, and Ben Kenobi and Yoda's Force ghosts are like, well, Yoda before he died, but then he was a Force ghost. They were both like, so I mean, technically this bitch is a Jedi now because he made the sword, but I'm going to be honest with you, Ben, he doesn't know shit.
I trained him for like 2 days and then he left.
Mm-hmm.
The contrast between it all, like the timing of it all, what he accomplishes, and then like he comes into the third one so goddamn cocky.
Oh my god!
But I'm like, how?
Of course.
Drives me crazy.
How did we get here?
He is. Drives me nuts. Like,
it's so cocky, and it's like Han is always kind of cocky. It's like a different. It's different,
but it's a
though.
front. It's a cocky front.
Well, no, because I think Han's is always a front. Luke's bothers me because he believes it. So,
I was saying Han's is a cocky front. Yeah.
So Luke's bothers
Luke
me
is like,
he shows up and he's like, I legitimately know all this stuff, and I'm like, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
Show me. Like,
but then he shows you, and you're like, what he does?
You're like, but there's no proof behind this. He shouldn't know these things.
No, nothing at all. He's just a Gryffindor protagonist. It's ridiculous.
He fucking when they tell him, when Vader's like, I am your father, and he's like, no!
Secretly loves it. He's like, I love it all.
But then Kenobi's like, it's your destiny to kill your father, and he's like, I can't do that. He's my dad. The man is a genesis. What the fuck are you talking? You don't know him. He murdered a planet.
But it's his dad.
The woman of the planet he murdered. What the fuck are you talking about?
But it's his dad, so therefore he has to be redeemable.
Well, it's like
I know there's some good in you somewhere.
That's the whole thing too, that they're like, Luke, you have to be careful because if you turn to the dark side, you'll be just like your dad. And so then it becomes this whole like internal thing, like, if I can't make my dad good, then I'm not good. It's a whole fucking Bucky Barnes thing again. If you're wrong about the shield, then Steve was wrong about me. Like
Well, this is also a big contrast with Gryffindors and Hufflepuffs too, right? Like there's no othering here where he's like, oh, okay, so you're shit politically and like, you know, just generally as a human being. So you're bad and you're a murderer and you do genocide. Yeah, there's no othering of that because he hasn't wronged Luke personally or any one of Luke's responsibilities, the people he's responsible for personally. So he's cool. He could still be redeemed. If he like fucked with Leia in front of Luke, then I think Vader would be on his shit list.
He did fuck with Leia. Like they were
when?
trying to torture
in
her.
front of Luke.
That's what I was saying. It wasn't in front of him.
Yeah,
but
in front of him. Yeah,
her from his ship. But yeah, and I mean, like, I don't. It's so funny too. Like, when they're in the ship at the end, and the Emperor and Vader are like, you have to turn the lightsaber onto Vader or your friends are going to die. And like, this is a whole conversation about Vader and what his house it is and what he thinks is going to work.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, Luke's having like a little bit of the, like, you know, it's going to be my fault if they die. But he's also like, Daddy, don't do this. You know?
Yeah. You don't have to.
Right?
I know nothing about you, but I know there's good in you somewhere.
He's like, that's my sister. It's your dad. Oh my God. I'm sorry. That's the other thing too.
We just made out.
When he fucking sits Leia down on Endor to tell them they're fucking related, they're siblings. Rachel and I were cracking up this entire scene because he takes such a long ass winded way, like,
yep.
You know, the universe is aligned and everything is beautiful.
He's like, I'll get you it after my speech, Leia. Hold on.
It's like, Leia, I practiced
I wrote some poetry here.
I practiced this on the way over. It's gonna be dramatic as fuck. Like,
and Leia's like, what do you mean, Luke? Can you just get to the point?
She
and he's
says that
like,
6
in
times.
a minute.
Yeah. She's like, can you just tell me what you're fucking talking about? He's like,
yep. He finally says it and she's like, I know.
She's like, I knew that. I knew that when I made out with you. But
oh my God,
I can't. I really can't.
Oh, that was a big Gryffindor moment. That was so funny. He's like, I
so
have this news that's so incredible. Wait, I can't wait to see like it flash in her eyes when the knowledge bomb I've just dropped on her. And she's like, okay. And he's like, yeah. All right, cool. I'm gonna go be a Jedi. It's ridiculous. But it speaks to Leia's house, too.
yes,
it does.
She handled that and everything else.
All right, let me.
So, like, I do want to say some good things about Luke.
I think we
like,
said some good things about Luke.
We did, but we've said he's
all the things
really
that
annoying.
We said about him are good.
So I just want to clarify.
Find them annoying.
It's true. I used to find him like so fucking irritating that like I borderline didn't like him until a couple years ago.
Okay, I'm going to make clear too. I like Luke. He's fine. I like him.
Yeah, no, I really like him. And I was telling Rachel this last night.
I was Luke in the later movies.
Right.
I was like, I realize now that like the things that really annoy him about me are like the very big stereotypical Gryffindor things that always annoy me because I see like things about myself that I hate in that character. And then it drives me fucking nuts. So it's like a self-hatred.
No, I get,
but
like,
I think
I can kind of come at it that way too. He's not the type of Gryffindor that I'm always attracted to, which is most of them. My problem with Luke is that he is too self-assured, which is an awesome thing in a person.
Yeah,
but
I don't relate to him in any capacity. And that really bugs me.
I wish I had that self-confidence. Like,
me too.
If there's nothing for me to fix, I can't date you. That's a broken thing to say.
I think his journey is really cool because I think he starts off like as more of a really unhealthy Gryffindor and he ends as a really healthy one.
Well,
and
I'm going to amend unhealthy. I think he was an unhappy Gryffindor. He didn't have a sense of purpose. He probably could have kept going as he was.
Yeah. Yeah, we need a sense of purpose. That's important. Yeah. 100%. That's really important. I'm talking about ending on 6. You're talking about the other movies.
No, I'm not there yet.
You're not?
I'm thinking about 4 to 6. I think 4, he like was never unhealthy, but was like, unless you're talking about from From 7 to 9, he went from
He
an
was
unhealthy Gryffindor to because that is true.
No, I mean, like, emotional-wise. Like, he was emotionally volatile and run by his anger. And, like, I still think he runs on anger, but he learns how to
You thought he was
channel
run by his anger in 4?
No.
Okay.
He was pissy more than he was.
He's
He was
pissy.
young.
Yeah.
He just didn't have anything to do with himself, and he knew that he could do more.
It's so funny. They kept saying things like Yoda and everyone kept saying to him, like, you can't let the anger
And I'm like, what
rule you
anger?
or whatever. And I'm like, where is his
Right?
anger? He's just
He's
bitchy.
like a little puppy dog. He's like, oh my god, you knew my dad? Tell me more about him. And they're like, your dad.
It's such a contrast to
died,
Anakin.
And also, he was evil. And Luke's like, oh my god, I want to meet him.
Yeah.
But no,
He's just a brat.
I do see what you're saying though, because and this might be what we were talking about, like the out of character. Well, I don't know, the out of character thing too. I think 4 to 6 was like he was just an unhappy Gryffindor, and he went to a really self-fulfilled Gryffindor who had supposedly found his exact place in life. And then 7 took it and went, know what he thought he was supposed to be doing? He fucked it up.
And so he went and hid.
Yeah.
No.
So he couldn't fuck anything up ever again.
That is what was peak Gryffindor. Because, I can only spot Gryffindors when they are, self-destructing, because that's the easiest way. That's not the only way to spot them, but it's the easiest way to spot them.
It's an easy way.
How they respond to fucking up. And, he, like, sets up his little Jedi school, and he trains a bunch of people, and then his nephew listens to the reptile guy in his head and like decides to go dark side, and then Luke fucking tries to murder him. He's like, you're not gonna fuck this up for me, man. You're not gonna do it. But more so, it's like he was responsible in his head for rebuilding the Jedi Order. So even though fucking Ben Kenobi, or not Ben Kenobi, but fucking Ben Solo was his nephew, he was like, it's my responsibility if this spawns another empire, so obviously I need to fucking murder this child. And then he didn't murder him. And so instead he hid a map in his robot and went, tee-hee, I'm going on vacation, try to find me. And then he fucked off. And, he got to be a legend for like a decade. Everybody was like, where's the great Luke Skywalker?
Oh, yeah.
And he's sitting out there on his rock, like, listening to everybody, like, yeah.
I fucking love later Luke. People shit talk him so much, and I'm like, I love this grumpy asshole, man. He's great.
Hey, have we proven this man is a Gryffindor at all? We just are saying things about him.
I can talk about New Luke. I like New Luke a lot. I did not watch. Like, I saw the first Star Wars as a kid or like a young teenager, and I hadn't seen them in a really long time. And then I went and saw the new ones, obviously, and I was like, oh, Luke's cool. And then I went back and saw the originals. I was like, what the fuck?
I love grumpy old Luke, but like my qualm is that I just don't think he would have given up.
Oh, I have a different take. I have a different take on like what he. I was gonna actually talk about that because I think that's very Gryffindor too. What he did.
Go right into it.
Okay. Well, wait, he's sitting on his fucking rock. Well, and then Ray shows up and he's like, "My time's come," and he's an absolute fucking asshole. Like. She's like, your family hasn't seen you in years. They don't know if you're alive. Like, we came here because the little droid that has been asleep forever told us to come here. And he's like, yes, I expected this to happen. And Ray's like, what the fuck? Like, I can't even, do you want to, I don't know. I don't remember the island as much, Rachel. Did anything stand out to you there that you were like,
he drank milk from the titty directly. Gryffindor.
Well,
the whole just dramatic performance on that island when Ray is there.
Incredibly dramatic. And Ray was like, well, I found you, so now you're gonna come fight with us, right? And he's like, no. No, but he said it with a smile. He's like, no. That's not part of the plan. It's like,
no smiley face.
That's not what we're doing. It's the whole Gryffindor thing. I've said this so often. It's my favorite Gryffindor trope. That they take a tragedy and they they bundle it up and they shove it inside their chest and they just build their entire fucking identity around it. And Luke's like, I failed the Jedi Order, and that's like his whole thing for the rest of his life. So Rey's like, so you're gonna come fight the Resistance now, right? And he's like, no, I fucked that up already. It's your fight now. But then, then he does show up, but not physically. This is what fucking gets me too.
Uh-huh.
He shows up and fights Kylo. And, Kylo's like, oh, he's fucking salivating for it. He's like, I'm going to kill this man who tried to murder me as a 10-year-old. And Luke's like, I respect that, but I'm not going to give you the fucking chance. And he shows up. He shows up as a Force ghost and fights him. And Kylo's like, they win. And he's like, no. And then Luke's like, and to fuck with you even more, now I'm just going to die. And then he just walks into the fucking light or whatever. And it's like, you don't get the chance to take me out, bitch. I already did that to myself. So he's done.
Dude, he's so funny. The whole thing, and you know what? Of course, it's the way like Mark Hamill plays it, but he's just
Mark
so
Hamill,
dramatic.
God,
And the whole fucking fight, it's ridiculous. I love
Hamill
it. I love every
is-
minute of it.
He's such a good being. He's a treasure.
He is.
I love Mark
Yeah,
Hamill.
he plays Luke beautifully.
Yep.
I'm also.
I mean,
here,
like Luke wasn't my favorite, but Mark makes it hard to dislike.
and
him.
I'm a gay Luke truther. So.
Oh my god, me too. He's gay,
Yeah.
which also adds to the drama.
Yes, it adds to the flair. So
I
I'm a
always
gay
thought he
man
was-
in love
I
with
always
my
thought he was
sister's
bi, and Lauren's
husband.
like, no.
I mean, he could be.
I'm like,
He never
alright,
told
but-
us, but I just went with the.
Yeah, I think his sexuality is attention.
I'm sexually attracted to anyone who will pay
kiss me
attention
now?
to me. Yes.
He's
He
ridiculous.
hops off of Twitter for 2 years and he's scrolling through his mentions like, who misses me?
Yeah. Dude, it's so true.
Intrinsically what he
Some
did.
fucking-
Yeah, that's a great
some
comparison.
Some fucking planet being taken over by the Empire. What are they in the second iteration? They're not the Empire anymore. They're the First Order. The First Order
Yeah.
is like murdering all these people, and they're tweeting like, "Help us, Luke Skywalker! Your only hope." And he's like, "That's great."
Good stuff here.
He's like, "I'll be there one day. Don't worry about it."
Yep. There's a plan. I have a plan.
Oh, he's just what a ridiculous character.
He's ridiculous. He's so dramatic.
That's I think we should talk
I
about
enjoy him.
like how did we go from he has so many responsibilities to he like fucked all his responsibilities. It's because he fucked up. That's what a Gryffindor does. But also like he made this plan and that became the the responsibility to
Yep.
see that plan through.
See the plan
Yeah.
through.
So it was like he was able. Gryffindors can't. It may be unbelievable because it's hard for them to do, but they can focus on one thing or several things as opposed to the entire world. We do see it with people. Dean Winchester didn't have that much luck, but we've seen
He didn't have a chance.
We've seen some other characters that are able to do it.
Yeah, Luke's one of them. All right. Well, you can't put him in another house. Don't fucking come here and tell him he's in another house.
Like maybe the only other house I could see is Hufflepuff. He's an emotional house. But I was gonna.
There's no logic.
Yeah, but I was gonna. Yeah, there's no logic in that man. But I was gonna say I think this is probably the least contested of the three in the sense that there's not as much of an argument. The next two, I can see people having arguments for what we're gonna say. But
yeah, when I picked this,
they
I was
seem
like,
obvious.
They are obvious.
when I picked these, I went, okay, I got to rewatch them to figure out who's who, but I was like, Luke's a Gryffindor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, without having watched the movies in years, I was like, it's clocked it immediately because he hits all those marks for like just the stereotypical shit. Like, I don't know how you would argue Hufflepuff even. Like, I don't know.
I wouldn't. I mean, I agree. We are in agreement. But the other ones, so like I don't know if it's been clear in this episode yet, but I'm the like not huge Star Wars fan. I enjoy it, but I'm not like Hannah's in a Star Wars shirt right now. Like I'm definitely not that level of fan. So I didn't really remember the movies very well. I kind of remember what their personalities were like, a little bit. So I threw out 2 houses at Lauren and she went wrong. And I then switched them. Because it's one of the other. They can only eat, both Leia and Han could only be in one of 2 fucking houses. There are the other 2 that I could never put them in. So it had to be one of the 2 I threw at her. And I think I ended up being correct.
Yeah, after I told you were wrong.
You made me watch the fucking movie, which was good advice. Like, maybe you should watch the movie you're talking about, you know? And I was like, oh, this is super clear. Like, if you sit there and rewatch it, it's...
We were like 2 seconds in when she like yelled at me about Han Solo. Like, how could you think he was like this character when he's like this character? And I was like, I never let you think that. You're the one.
Well, can we talk about it? Are we ready to talk about it?
No, it's Leia.
Mm-hmm. That's what
yeah.
Hannah wants.
You're right.
What I get to do whatever I want for this episode.
That's right. Well,
you said it at the beginning. It's on record.
It was for Leia too. I'll tell you, I put her in. I wrongfully put her in Gryffindor first, just because I remembered how feisty she is, and I remembered nothing else. I remembered nothing else about her in the OG movies.
After she said Gryffindor for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, she's not like that, dude.
I don't remember. And that was having not seen the movies for quite a while yet. Yeah, Leia's such a Slytherin. She's such a Slytherin. She's a princess. She is she's on the governing body, the whatever Supreme Court fucking empire, like the universe, whatever. She's a politician. And then she's also secretly working with the Resistance. So Darth Vader grabs her and tortures her, and he wants they stole the plans to the Death Star, and then she sent them off to Obi-Wan Kenobi. So he wants her to tell him where the Resistance is hiding and where the plans for the Death Star went after the idiots on the Death Star didn't shoot the seemingly empty fucking escape pod. Why wouldn't you just shoot it? Do you have a limited number of lasers on your giant ass Death Star? Whatever. So but no, she's so unflappably, she's so disdainful of everybody on that fucking ship. She's like, she's like, what the fuck kind of operation are you running here? Like, Darth Vader comes in and tortures her, and she's like, what the fuck do you think this is? And she's just like, I could smell the stench of you the second that you stepped on board. And she's like, this is all a mess. You're all torturing me wrong. Like, you're not doing anything right. This isn't going to get me to say any information. Like, they pull her in front of her planet, and they're like, we're going to blow up the planet. And, they're pretty convincing. And finally, she gives them false information, and they're like, and they blow it up anyway. Nothing. She's like, you fuckers. And that's it. And then she's like, she doesn't show any emotion, but in her head, she was like, I'm now dedicated to fucking ripping these people's throats out. Like, that's and she it's no emotion, no oh my God, my family's dead, all my people are dead, I'm an extinct species. She's nothing. She's like, I'm gonna kill these people. And Luke shows up to rescue her, and she's like, aren't you a little short to be a storm? Like, she doesn't give a fuck. And then Han and Luke are like, we don't have a plan. And she's like, are you fucking stupid? I don't want to be rescued by you. Like, she's just so oh my, I love her. She's like,
my favorite thing
is why is everybody in my life, whether they hate me or trying to help me, incompetent? Like, why do I suffer? Like, what?
I think she says it to Han, and this is during the rescue. She's like, I don't know who you are or where you came from, but from now on you'll do as I tell you. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yep.
I'm in charge. I'm the only one who has brain cells and knows what to fucking do. Yep. She's not about it. She's not a damsel in distress, and she proves this over and over again.
They go down the fucking trash chute, and Han comes down last and shoots the door, and she's like, we already tried that, you fucking idiot! Han's like, well, I shoot things, and then I ask questions, and she's like, why are you awful? Why are you horrible? Why?
Dude, the only thing I remembered from Leia from my childhood of watching those fucking movies was that she called him a scruffy looking nerf herder.
Yep.
And when you asked me what house would you put her in, and I'm like, I don't know, Gryffindor. She insults people. I don't fucking know.
Because they're incompetent.
But that is what it is. After watching it, I was like, oh shit, that is a Slytherin. I know people put her in Ravenclaw sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
She's like,
because she's brilliant.
She
That's
is
why.
brilliant. Well, it's ambition. She's what? She's 16.
Yeah.
And she's been raised as a princess, and she's already the Alderaan, representative of this like higher court or whatever. And on top of that, they're supposed to be neutral, and she's like secretly working for the resistance at the age of 16. When they finally get off the ship and she shows up at where the resistance is hiding, she's immediately like, I am in charge of you and you and you and all of these people. Like, this is just my operation. And they're all like, all right. And she does it. She is like, so here's the thing that we were just like so pissed off about Luke's self-assuredness, but Leia is insanely self-assured in herself. She has no doubt about the only time that she ever gets kind of doubtful is with her people. So these two fucking idiots show up, this himbo and this asshole that won't stop going, hey, you're in love with me. And she's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with these two? Like, I have to drag them around the Death Star, and then I have to bring them to the Resistance, and then they're going to expect to stay with me, and I have to, like, pick up after them like they're dogs? Like, what? But she's like, all right, I've collected these two, and I didn't hate it. So now I guess they're mine. So
I adopted them.
And and Han's doing is one of oh, you're still in love with me, and she's like, this man is my brother, and I'm gonna kiss him, you fucking piece of shit.
Just to prove my point.
I'm gonna spite incest this mofo because you are pissing me off, and I'm not here for it. It's so Slytherin. I would 100%. If another man didn't know that it was my brother, I would kiss my brother, and I'd be like, fuck you. Like, I have no feelings for you whatsoever.
Jesus Christ.
But then, Luke gets lost in the tundra because he's a fucking idiot, and then Han's like, okay, I'm leaving now for real this time, and she's like, I don't want you to leave, and then that's when Hans starts up with this, you love me again, and then some no-name comes along and is like, Luke's trapped in the tundra, and she's immediately like super concerned. They're her boys. Like, she is concerned about them.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but you know what? Not that much time, and I think that's the thing with Slytherin.
Literally, they get off the Death Star, and she's like, now I'm stuck with them. Neither one of them died. So
yeah, she claimed them. That was it. They're hard not to love. They are, the both of them. I personally, that's how I feel.
And I think we've talked about romantic or not, Slytherins and Gryffindors have a pretty great chemistry. And she just
it's that banter.
What?
The Slytherin Gryffindor banter is the best. Back to the Ravenclaw thing, before I rewatched it, I was like, oh, I guess like she could be Ravenclaw or Slytherin, and then I think I had like a 2-sentence conversation with Lauren.
Yes,
when we got off the call with the Nerds Are Typing, and I was like, oh yeah, no, she's a Slytherin. You're right.
Hugely passionate. I just won't hear it. She's a Slytherin. I don't know.
Yep.
I think the Ravenclaw thing comes from she's a great strategist,
and but that can be Slytherin.
It can be. I know. It's just that people typically put really, really strategically intelligent people into Ravenclaw.
Thinky people.
And I think if you were gonna, I can see why people make the argument for it from that perspective. So it's not one where I'm like, when people thought Tony was a Ravenclaw, I don't.
No.
Tony Stark, sorry. Like, that bugged me because I was like, that's so far off the mark for me personally. If someone says Leia's a Ravenclaw, I'm like, I see where you're coming from, but consider everything else Lauren just said about
it. Was mostly just like how she's super into like making the logical plans, and she's so unflappable.
Well,
like that.
But I was just gonna say, I guess too, she's not. And this is something that I hold near and dear as a Slytherin. Like, she's not like she's sitting on the ship. And she's you're right, it's unflappable, but she's like, she's just like, it doesn't matter how, I'm going to get off. Like she's not making a plan for how she's just waiting and watching, which I also feel is very Slytherin, and waiting to see when she can like push at something or use somebody. And this fucking idiot opens her door dressed as a stormtrooper, and she's like, "We'll go with this one." It's like, and does that.
She's unflappable with shit like that, but not with her people. Like,
no.
Han really gets under her skin. That's a Slytherin thing too.
Yeah.
Your people get to you hard.
Yeah.
To the point where you have to make out with your brother to show that you're not bothered, but you are.
I was gonna say too, when she's finally like, we'll stop his suffering, and he's like, "You just gotta tell me, man. Like, do you love me?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, of course I do." And he's like, "But I know, like, you have to sing with Luke." And she's like, "No, that guy's my brother." Like, she's totally.
and Han's like, so then it's okay. You're telling me there's a chance. Like,
you're telling me there's a chance.
Bang. She's like,
yeah, I think that's a hugely Slytherin thing. The like being confronted with emotions and just being like, I don't care if you're right. I'm going to fucking just spitefully come back at you and say it's not true.
Yes.
I'm not going to talk about my emotions when you directly ask me.
God, no.
Why would I do that?
It would be so easy if you did.
Yep.
Your life would get so much easier if you did.
I feel like that would be a lot of work.
It would.
It's a lot of work to feel things and express them.
Oh, Christ. I don't get you guys at all. Just comes so naturally.
I know it does. Yeah, I don't even know if I have anything from the original 3 to say more about Leia. Like, that's just...
she's an easy one.
She makes buddies with the Ewoks, which I always thought was really funny, because she's like, it's the like, we're just gonna do whatever happens, and shows up, and I'm gonna make it work. Like, the little furry bear creature is like poking at her, and she's like,
yeah,
maybe I could use you as a sacrifice in this war that
It's literally that. I remember I was watching with Lauren, and I'm like, oh, she loves them. And Lauren's like, yeah, I would too if I could get them to work for me and be dumber than me. What's the example with the ship, Lauren?
What?
That the nerds are typing we're talking about?
But that's MBTI.
I know, but it's also very you. It's very Slytherin, and also very Leia, because Leia would do that too.
Between INTJs and ISNJs, I think, or ISFJs, something like that. But the INTJ is gonna, if a ship is drowning, it's gonna save. It's gonna fix the ship, and then the other one is gonna be concerned with saving the people on the ship.
Right. When we were watching that happen, I was like, yeah, Leia would let all these little fuckers just die if she had to.
I mean, she was. They were dying.
Yeah. Too bad.
Like,
Get smarter.
We've invaded your planet. Like, it's like, well, you shouldn't have fought for me then.
Yeah, I can hear that coming right out of her mouth. Damn.
Here's a big thing I wanted to talk about. Leia is force sensitive. She's a Skywalker.
She is.
When Ben and Yoda are lamenting the fact that Luke is in no way ready to be a Jedi, Yoda's like, "Don't worry, there's another one." Like, when this one inevitably fucks up, there's another one. And that was Leia, and I think it's so. So here's the thing, like with Slytherin, like you hear Slytherin, and they're after power, right? And so you're probably like, why wouldn't Leia use? Like, how does that prove she's Slytherin? That she's not super interested in it. And I think it's like more telling because I don't see Slytherins as power hungry. I see them as needing the power that they need to be, I don't know what you want, comfortable where they need to be. Like, they just want enough power to do what they think they need to do. And Leia is a badass without the Force. She doesn't fucking need it. She's fine. Luke's like, look, I can move this thing with my brain. And she's like, why the fuck would I have to do that? Like,
that's not practical at all.
Right.
It's
the I need the power and the resources to do the thing that I'm doing, but it's not like I must have all of the power
and
just because I want it.
And she lets Luke train her before she gets pregnant, and then after that, she's just like, I don't need. I'm a fucking general of the, you know. I'm
a general. Yeah, I got a kid.
Yeah, she's like, I'm fine. I got a husband. I'm good. And then, like, the only other time we see her use it after that is to literally save her life, and she's totally able to. Yeah. She does this huge thing with the Force. She's extremely Force powerful, which I just think speaks more to the fact that, like, she never sees the need. She's so comfortable in her ability to get shit done without having to use the Force. It's just something that's in her back pocket if she feels like it, or if she thinks she needs it, or she's fucking dying in outer space. But otherwise, she's like, I don't need it. Why would I use it? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Whereas Luke's like, it's my responsibility. I have this great power. How could I shun it? And Leia's like, I don't need that shit. Like, it's just not interesting to me.
I think it's you could bring it back to a Harry Potter thing too with the Slytherins, because I think the argument you get from people is like, well, they're power hungry, but I wouldn't say every Death Eater was power hungry. I would say they were just following this dude. Half the time they were like, well, I don't know why he wants all this power, why he's so fucking evil, but this is where the world is heading. Obviously, he's the most powerful one. Whatever. All right, let's go,
it's
family.
Like self-preservation.
But it's not because they wanted power. It's self-preservation too. It's not. So I don't think it is a good counter argument. I don't think it's a good counter argument to your point to say, well, she didn't want the Force, so she can't be a Slytherin. Like,
yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like, it's, I don't see it as power. You just need,
I'm agreeing.
You just need as much power. You want, like, because here's the thing, like, a Slytherin's whole thing is protect their people and also achieve whatever goals you set or whatever. Why would you go overboard if you can achieve the goals that you want, you know? Like, that's not logical. Why would I use it more resources that I could maybe use for something else or more? Like, I just wouldn't. It's
also very smart for her to, like, keep that skill on the down low in case she really does need it and to, like, surprise someone with it.
And then she's raised Jedi Master. So, like, she trains her, but she's like, I never needed this, you know? Like, I was fine without it. But you should know. But she was a proponent of you should know how to use it. But then it becomes dangerous or whatever, and she was very smart about that too. That's the other like moving into the newer movies now. Leia gets the shit end of the stick from her fucking family. Her brother fucks off to nowhere. Her son's like, I want to be like grandma, and like leaves, and and her husband after her son leaves is like, our marriage.
Bye.
He's like, honey, I want to stay married to you, but this is the
I gotta get some space.
Get out of here. And she just handles it. She's like, whatever. She's like obviously really upset about Ben. She uses her dying moments to like call him back to the light side or whatever. And it obviously affects her deeply when Han dies. But she's just like dealing it. Like, even though these are her people, she knows they're out there, and she's like letting them do whatever the fuck it is, stupid shit that they're doing. She
they need to do.
Yeah, she's like, you can sure as hell know that everyone's gonna get their ass back here before I die, though. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think she always felt like, in the end, you know, the right thing will happen. It'll work out. I have faith in it. Like, she has complete confidence in her people. I don't know, do we see very much of how she feels about like Han fucking off? Because I feel very much like she's like, all right, do it.
When he comes back, she's like, you fucking idiot. Like, why would I not want you here? Like that.
Yeah, but again, it's not like some huge emotional ordeal though.
She,
you know, like from another house.
And kisses him and is like, what? Don't ever fucking do that again. That was stupid.
Because she understands like why he needed to do that, even though it was fucking stupid.
Right.
She understood it, so she wasn't like sitting at home crying herself to sleep,
but then
like
also,
waiting for him to come
Luke
home.
Especially, like, she's explaining how Luke fucked off out of nowhere, and I can't remember exactly the sequence that it happens in, because I think Rey learns about Luke as the Luke Skywalker, and then meets Leia, and then it's like, oh, that's his sister. And Rey's like, are you upset about this? And Leia's like, I don't fucking know. My dumbass brother's just gone. She's like, I can feel him sometimes in the Force, but you know, he's just out there doing his thing. And he's I'm gonna be damned if I chase after him. So
yeah, basically.
She's like, I got shit to do here, so.
Is that a thing too for a Slytherin, where like once you're in such a comfortable place with your people that like you don't worry about it, that they're not
Yeah, it can be
there all the time.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Like,
Yeah.
But I also think Leia had reached, besides the fact that her son was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I think she had like reached, I don't know if I want to call it her end goal, but I guess I will. I think she reached where she thought she should be. Like, she was doing what she should be doing, and she didn't see, like, from that point forward, it was just, I'm setting up my successors, right? She had the whole thing with Rey, and you could see her being a Slytherin with Poe too, where she was like, "Get your fucking head out of your ass," like, you know. So I think she was like, like, I know we keep saying Slytherins are all about their people, and we definitely push that because we're trying to get everybody away from the fact that from the Slytherins are selfish stereotype, but they can be, because Slytherins are the most self-oriented house, and I think Leia was extremely comfortable with herself. So she was like, these assholes are going to come back or they're not. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do about whatever tantrums they're throwing? Like, I can't.
Yeah, she doesn't have patience for it. Honestly, she's
there doing exactly what she should be doing, and she's doing it correctly. Like, it's not, she can't control other people. Like, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think if they went to her, for advice about their feelings, she'd be like, just fucking get over it and stop being stupid. Like, that's it.
We're in like the equivalent of, like World War II for us. Like, I don't know what you want to deal with right now, that your own personal issues. I don't know that we have time for that.
Yeah, but then someone like Luke would be like, we do have time for my issues. Actually, my issues are very important.
World War II is centered on my issues, so I think maybe we solve them.
I am the sun and the moon, too. Oh, Luke. No, but Leia's a great character. I was really shocked watching the movie how badly I got, like, mischaracterized her based on the fact that she was insulting.
Yeah. And I mean, she carries the chosen one thing graciously, too. She's just like,
It is gracious.
I am a princess. I am a politician. I am obviously the best person to be leading this somehow resistance only full of men. What the fuck? So...
Yeah, she's very like, there's a reason I'm the princess. If you don't see it, then you're fucking stupid. I don't know what to tell you. Get out of my way.
Right. Yeah. She's like, there's a reason that Ben Kenobi put me in the royalty spot and my brother got sent to the farm. Like, this wasn't an
My brother
accident.
got sent to the farm. Oh, shit. It's true, though.
Oh, God.
It's really true.
I've never thought of that. Yeah. That's hilarious.
I know that there's a whole, like, intercourse, because I saw some stuff about, like, people were like, maybe when they said there's another, it wasn't Leia, they were like, right, like, the fandom was talking about that or whatever, and then it was like, Leia knew all along that Leia knew all along she was adopted, and, like, how did Kenobi make his decisions or blah, 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 and, like, I can't wait to see his series, because I would love to see, like, what happens there, but like, just, like, taking it at face level that they're like, there's another, and they, and Luke wasn't a secret from Vader, but Leia was, you're kind of like, she's the more dangerous one, right? Even though they're telling Luke that he's the one that needs to kill his dad, she's the one that Vader should really be like, oh, fuck. Right?
Obi-Wan fucking Dumbledore them as loaves of bread.
Oh my God.
This one's a Gryffindor. Send it to the farm. This one's a Slytherin. Put it in royalty. It'll be fine. Eventually, it'll, this one's ego needs to be knocked down already. Don't fucking put him in royalty, please.
Oh my God, can you imagine the insufferable levels?
No. No, I don't want to.
If he was already at that level, just being a farm boy.
Terrible.
Oh my God.
But so funny.
Yeah, I love Leia. And she's just growing up with Leia, just like having that like cool, powerful, like female character.
And Carrie Fisher carried that really well too. Thank you to her for being
thank you, Carrie.
Fucking amazing.
Yep. I just love that she always saved herself and then continually saved Luke and Han.
And
like
she's
she was never like,
this is how you fucked up saving me. Like, do it better next time. I can't keep depending.
Do it like me, thank you.
Like, why do I have to keep doing everything myself? Like, goddamn. She's awesome. I love her.
She's great.
Rachel said Gryffindor, and I was like, no.
No.
Yeah, but it's because I hadn't really watched the movies. Like, genuinely, I had never really watched them and paid attention to them.
Yeah.
I watched the later ones that came out without any knowledge of the originals. And I was like, oh, this is cool.
And the internet thinks that she's a Gryffindor.
Ew.
Probably
Yeah, but
just based
how?
on-
How the fuck did all of you grow up with it and get it so wrong?
I don't know.
I think I've seen a couple of people get Slytherin for her, but
I've never seen Slytherin for her. I've
I
only
haven't
seen
either.
Ravenclaw.
did the thing we looked
I
at
haven't
not
even
call
seen
her
Ravenclaw.
Slytherin?
I've only seen Gryffindor.
What happened,
The
Lauren?
thing we read, did that not make her a Slytherin?
Yeah, but you're right,
Yeah, I
actually.
thought-
Yeah,
I
it did.
thought-
But and they went, and I could see Ravenclaw too. Yeah, now I remember that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. It's not there.
All right.
But we do Ravenclaw very differently than everyone else does
That's-
Ravenclaw, I have to say.
That's true.
People are like, every time you ask them what their house is, they're like, I think I'd probably be in Ravenclaw. I like to read.
I like to read.
You know
I'm
what?
smart.
Maybe it's our fault that we have so few Ravenclaws. We hold them so near and dear to our own interpretation of them. We like gatekeep Ravenclaw.
Well, we're right.
We're
We're
like,
right,
this is
though.
only for the likes of Charlie Kelly and Britta Ferry.
Right? Well, and our smartest friends and favorite celebrities, too,
Yes.
though, okay?
All
We
right,
love them.
yeah.
I think the problem is that if you put Ravenclaws in stories too often, the stories would be very short.
Ooh,
Yeah, maybe.
interesting.
They could also be unbearably
Sometimes for
long.
some of them.
So
Yeah, for some of them, they would get bored and it would end.
Yeah.
And for others,
Well,
it would
yeah.
be like,
and
fuck.
sometimes
True.
it would be like, why are you? The story ended 5 pages ago. Why are you still going? Like, what's happening
Yeah.
now?
I wonder if Lemony Snicket is a Ravenclaw.
God, yes. I don't even have to
I get
think
that
about
vibe.
it. I don't even have to think
Yeah.
about it. God, yes.
If you're listening, come on the show.
What's his real name? Dave something? I don't know.
No clue. Don't tell me. I've never wanted the magic ruined. Don't tell me.
His name's Lemony Snicket, and he
is.
speaks like David Warbuck.
Oh my God, I love it.
All right, so I feel like I've been talking a lot, and I feel like that's not going to be the case here, or everybody's about to talk a ton about this.
I'm going to
character.
talk
You
a lot
talked a
about
lot
Han.
about Leia, but I'm sure we all talked a lot for Luke. You took Leia on, which I think is
very
fair.
strongly about it.
Yes.
Yeah, so you take that platform. That's
Yeah.
all right. You explained it very
Thank
well.
you.
But for Mr. Han,
Han Solo.
Yes.
he's fun.
For Han Solo, my favorite character in Star Wars.
So Hannah and I did watch Solo together.
We did.
Rachel, I know you didn't. But it did help me quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
It's fine. It's fine.
I like it.
It's fine.
The only
didn't
thing
like
I didn't
the
like is
they
that the
cast.
actor didn't really look like
Yeah, I
Han,
didn't like
but
the kid.
He did the
he's a good-
mannerisms
he-
really well.
the mannerisms are
Right.
great. He's a good
He
actor,
spoke like
but
him.
yeah,
Like he did
he
really
did.
well.
He did
Also,
a great job.
what's the chick? Daenerys? Who
Daenerys
plays her?
Targaryen.
Yeah, fucking hot.
Amelia Clark.
Yes, thank you.
She's so hot, and she's
really
Yeah,
hot.
great
crazy
in
hot.
that movie.
Yep.
Fantastic. I want her to have a Disney Plus series. She says she wrote it. Let's do it.
Donald Glover was hot in that.
He-
Give it to me. Oh my
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
Donald
Yeah,
Glover.
it was a sexy movie.
It was a
God.
sexy movie. Anyway, yeah. So Han Solo,
Han Solo.
the original bad boy. It's not true.
Well, okay, so for those of you who have heard our community episode, I Jeff Winger is like one of my favorite characters of all time. And Jeff thinks he's Han Solo, okay?
Yeah.
And again, as I've said in this episode, I was not big on watching the Star Wars movies, so I would think to myself, oh, okay, Jeff's a Slytherin. If he's modeling after Han Solo, who's this like posturing,
Yeah, but who else models after Han
I was like,
Solo?
oh, Slytherin. And then
Who
Lauren made me
else?
watch them.
Models
And
after
I'm watching
Han
them going,
Solo.
Lauren. I go, Lauren, why did you let me think he was modeling Jeff Winger when he's modeling Dean Winchester? And she goes, I didn't fucking tell you that. You did that. And it's like, yeah, he's very Dean Winchester.
Or Dean Winchester is very
Wow.
Han Solo.
Yes.
Sure, either way.
Well, one came first.
Did the chicken come before the egg, or was the egg before the chicken? Yeah.
No, they're in space in the future.
No,
so
they're in the past.
Dean
It's a
came
long,
first.
long time ago.
They are in the past, yes.
Literally
Yeah.
the opening
What?
credits.
What?
The beginning of every single
long,
movie,
long time.
Rachel.
That's not how the
A
world
long,
works.
A long, long time ago in a galaxy far away.
Yeah, sure. They're assuming you're watching it in like 20 fucking 90, I guess. I don't know. No fucking way.
It's a long
Get
time
outta here.
ago.
I
It
reject that
happened
reality.
already.
That's stupid as
literally
hell.
Yeah.
That's so
it's
dumb.
another galaxy
Fuck
that is
off.
more advanced than ours.
Mhm.
What? What?
We just broke
Move
Rachel.
on.
She's
Move
broken.
on,
I
move
know.
on, because you
Okay.
broke my
I
brain.
know.
So yeah, I originally, when I rewatched episode 4, because I went into it being like, is he Gryffindor, is he Slytherin? And I was like, it feels like Slytherin just because he's so about his people. And he's very much about looking out for himself. And I was like, that seems like Slytherin to me. But it's the motivation behind it. When we watched Solo and you said the Dean Winchester thing, I was like, what? And then I thought about that while we were watching Solo, and I had to like really think about it. And then Rachel said the responsibility thing to me, and I was like, okay, got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's what did it for me too. Because while watching it, you're like, oh, he really like cares about these people in a way. He's the type of person who doesn't really care about shit like this.
Yeah.
But he cares about them. But it's immediately, my interpretation is it's because he feels responsible for making sure that they're going to be okay now. He's immediately attached to them. Now he's responsible for them.
Well, like, what was it?
That's Gryffindor.
He got, in 4, he got them to the planet, to the Resistance.
Yep.
And he was like, all right, I'm going to leave now. And then it cuts to the scene where they're, like, giving the plan on how they're going to blow up the Death Star. And Han asks the general a question. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing here? Like, why do you care? Aren't you leaving? And then they all get into their ships or whatever. And he's like, okay, I'm leaving now. Bye. And, Luke and Leia are like, and then they start the fight or whatever. And then his fucking ass shows up again. And then in 5, he's trying to leave Hoth, and he's like, okay, I'm going now. And then they're like, Luke's dying out there in the tundra. And he's like, well, shit. And he goes out there to say, like, he just keeps saying, I'm going to leave. And he just does not. Like,
he's a different Gryffindor than Luke is. They're like on two different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But the way that Luke immediately connected to Obi-Wan, it's the same shit. You have these attachments to people you immediately like feel like you connect to. That happens with Gryffindors a lot. Whether or not you think you're responsible for them or you just feel emotionally connected to them for some reason, you're now responsible for them. And if anything bad happens to them, it's your fault.
He also makes it very clear that he's like not happy about it. He's like, I have to like, this is annoying to me because I like live this solo life alone or whatever. And now I like keep getting dragged. Cause he says multiple times, like the Resistance is not my fight. Like this isn't what I want to be doing. But he keeps doing it. They make him a general in the Resistance, and he's like, "This kind of cool." But but he's like still there for Luke and Leia. So, he's ridiculous, fucking ridiculous.
He is a ridiculous. Yeah, and so he's another one who's just like, I don't know. I definitely see why people put him in Slytherin. I definitely see it because it does seem like he's above it all and he's not really here for it. No, he just keeps getting roped back in because they're his circle now. It's like, it's not quite that. It's not quite that. You have to see past it. It's the same reason people missort Dean. It's the same reason. I feel like you're falling a little bit for the face he puts on instead of the face that's actually there.
Oh, yeah. Well, he wants people to think he's a Slytherin.
Exactly.
I'm sure it helps him as a smuggler. Like, I mean, this came around really when he was younger, when he was less able to mask his emotions, when he gets separated from Kira and he has to go off and literally he's like, it's fucking Dean Winchester in purgatory. He's like, I'm gonna come back for you. Like his only mission is to get back to this planet that he was trying so hard to escape from because he wants to get back to this girl that he is in love with. So, and I know a lot of people also might do Slytherin because it's like Han doesn't care about doing the right thing, I guess the argument would be. Like, he's not, like, necessarily a good guy. Like, he's an anti-hero. I don't know if you'd go that far to call him. But it's just, like, we've talked about so many times that Gryffindors all have different moralities and what they think is right. Yeah. And the one that I could point out for Han right away is Han very obviously, for reasons that aren't even explained in the prequel, hates the Empire. He's like, the Empire, like, I guess you don't really need a reason. They're, a genocidal Empire. But he's like, I hate the Empire. I'm not doing any, like, he fights in the Imperial Army, but it's only so he can be a pilot and get back to and he leaves it as soon as, like, he meets these smugglers, and he's like, oh, fuck, I'll be a smuggler. Like, he's not there for the Empire, and he hates it. And this is a part of his, I talked about with Lando, too. We were laughing about Lando because Luke was like, he's like, oh, yeah, we've betrayed each other a bunch, and, like, I stole his ship, but he's my best friend. He'd never do anything to hurt me. And, like, Lando does do something to hurt him, and it's like, and the reason that Han is surprised about that is because smugglers have this code where, like, they betray each other and do whatever and, like, to get ahead, and that's fine. But Han hates the Empire. He could not see, he genuinely is like, Lando is my friend. He wouldn't go to the Empire. Like, sure, he might stab me. He might shoot me, but he's not going to turn me over to the Empire. We're friends. And so he's like, he's so shocked. He can't. He didn't see it
It's
coming.
the same way I think Dean would be shocked if Sam betrayed him, you know? Like, it's so unfathomable to him, like, that someone would, that he regards
in the way
as,
that's
like...
wrong. Like,
Exactly. If it's the way Han would do it, then it's fine.
Well, like, he follows a specific morality that's, like, it's, you know, a smuggler's code that, like, you know, it's, like, you can have smugglers that are Gryffindors, you can have pirates that are Gryffindors, like, they're following a certain code, and that's what is right. Like, another thing about Han, too, is, because one of the other, like, Slytherin arguments I saw for him is, like, the self-preservation thing. The reason that he's in Jabba, like, he's indebted to Jabba is because he dropped all those spices, and, like, he owed him a bunch of money or whatever. And, like, here's the thing with Han, that can be a Slytherin doing it. Like, obviously the Empire is chasing you. You drop the load and you get away. Like, it's self-preservation. It's, like, smart to do or whatever. And I don't think Han does it that way. I don't think he's like, you know, I'm going to drop these.
She's saying she doesn't think he's smart enough.
No, I'm saying I don't think he's thinking it through. Like, I'm going to drop these, and then
he's not thinking it through.
I'm going to drop these, and I'm going to get away from the Empire, and then this is how I'm going to, like, pay back Jabba, and, like, it'll all be fine or whatever. It's, like, literal gut instinct, like, you know, oh shit, I don't want to die. I don't want the Empire to kill me. I'm going to drop this load. Oh no, Jabba's going to be mad at me. I might die from that, but I'm not going to die now. So,
a problem for future Han.
That's a problem for future me. And I might die because of it, but that's all right in this moment. So
he really, really acts on his gut instinct. He very much. He doesn't think anything through. No. That's another thing that really got me. I was like, yeah, he does. He always shoots first. Like, he always runs, like, straight into a situation shooting. Like, he doesn't, like, think about it or plan about it.
At the end of
like
4.
Running and shooting and screaming.
So that was also when they get down to, once they get Leia and they get down to the, like, deck level or whatever. And I was like, Rachel, this is the part where I was like, Gryffindor. When he's on the intercom with the officer upstairs, and he's like, everything's fine, nothing's
like,
going on
well,
here.
Fine here.
It's all okay.
How are you?
How are you? And they're like, well, we heard shooting, and what's your number? We don't know who you are. And he's like, no, it's I sat on the button. It's all okay. You know, a gun went off or whatever. And they're like, we're coming down. And he's like, no, don't do that. Oh fuck! And he just shoots the internet. Like, why would you shoot the internet?
He's so fucking stupid. He's like,
Lauren, he's sitting there. He's like, who is it? It's your mom. Slam. Like, it was so that. Oh my god, he's ridiculous.
Or like
thinks nothing through. He thinks nothing
through. Down into the, like, trash compactor, and he gets down there and sees that they're trapped, and is immediately like, I'm gonna shoot the metal door. And we also talked about too, when they're yelling at C-3PO and R2 to, like, turn off the compressor walls or whatever. They're, like, yelling at them to do it, and they do it, and like, their response when the walls stop moving, you don't hear a woman at all. Leia does not make a noise. Both Han and Luke are like, It's like such a fucking Gryffindor reaction. Like, the one time they match up, them going, and they don't die, and they're like,
every natural reaction his character has is super Gryffindor. It's so funny. Even the way he treats C-3PO. Because as I'm watching it, I'm like, that's exactly how I would talk to this little fucker. Like, I cannot take it anymore. I'm like, Lauren, he's the worst character in all of Star Wars. I fucking hate him. And he's like, yeah, all right. Good advice there, jackass. Like, every 2 seconds, and he's like, Chewie, go fix it. Don't let the robot hear you. He's right. Like, go fix it.
I was gonna, so the prequel also shows you too, before he's again like hardened or whatever, and like I don't care. He does have a very, very, very clear instance of doing the right thing in a smuggling move instead of giving the First Dawn, whatever they're called, instead of giving Vision the glowy sticks. He gives them to the lady from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So
everyone got that right.
Yeah, you followed that. What I'm talking about. So like he does a good thing. She tells him the Empire is decimating my people, and we need these to rebuild, and in order to fight back, and he risks his own life in order to get them to them in like a very clear. It's again, fuck the Empire. He does not like the Empire bad.
Yeah.
But
I think in Solo he's a little leaning more towards idealistic, but definitely at the end of that movie he becomes realistic.
He's young, and it's before he's really a smuggler. Like he was just doing shit on whatever fucking planet that he was from, like in the slums, and then he became like a galaxy smuggler, and it was a much bigger thing. He went to work for Jabba.
I think a lot of Gryffindors also have the just natural hatred towards authority that's like overtly, we could call it fascist, but also just like dickheaded. Yeah. Like if you are in a position of power and you're being an asshole, I automatically fucking hate you. Mm-hmm. Automatically. Yeah. Like you're a dick. And I think Gryffindors really, really hate that. Just it's a natural instinct.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Gryffindors really want power. Ever. They're like, why does it have to be me? And then they take the responsibility on, and then, whether the ego comes out or not, it does or it doesn't. Mm-hmm. But when you see someone in it and they're being so the way you wouldn't be, it's like, fuck you, dude. Like, you're so wrong. Now I'm going to just be fully against you, prick. Yeah. Like, I think that's the whole thing with him, too.
And I mean, Han has the cockiness, too, like the self-assuredness. You see it especially in the prequel when he's like, I'm going to be a pilot. Like, I've never gone off this fucking planet, and I'm going to be the best pilot ever. He's like, I'm going to make the Kessel run in, like, an insane amount of time. And he does it. And he does? Yeah, and then he never shuts up about it. It's, I made the Kessel run in 12 parsecs as Dean Winchester's I Killed Hitler. Like, it's, it's but he's like, that's his calling card. He's like, me, I made the Kessel run in 12 parsecs. One of the other things I take from the movie, and again, it's so much easier to see him before he puts on this mask that he had to put on, is when he meets Chewie. He immediately takes Chewie. He's like, this is mine now. This is my buddy and my companion, and like, it's just no hesitation. And like,
he was gonna eat me, and now he's my best friend forever.
Saving Chewie is the right thing to do too, right? Like, Chewie is like my entire planet was like, and my people were fucked, and I'm living here in this mud pit. And he's like, we're gonna get out of this together, buddy. And then he like invites him on his little trips with him, and just never stops inviting him. But
see, and he would never think that Chewie would betray him, so why would Lando? You know what I'm saying? Like, he puts these people. I keep going back to that.
That's the thing too. Like, if Chewie did anything, Han would be like, what? but they're in Cloud City, and Leia's like, I don't feel good about this guy. Like, I'm not totally sure that this is going to turn out how you think it's going to turn out. And he's like, he might shoot me in my sleep, but Lando's my friend. Like,
she's like, I don't trust him, and he's like, I don't trust him either, but he's my friend.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Fine. Maybe.
What other house?
What other house would do that? I don't trust this person, but they're my friend for life, so they never hurt me.
Screaming when I heard him say it. I was like, Lauren, are you fucking kidding me? Tell me what other house that could be. None of the other three are that stupid.
The immediate forgiveness for me.
Yep, immediate.
It's ridiculous.
He might shoot me, but one, that's future me's problem, and two, we'll still be friends. So like,
yeah. Then he turns around and saves him.
Yeah,
without a second thought. He's blind, but he does it. Yeah.
Well, one of the other things that Rachel and I were getting a kick out of too is how he acts towards Leia. Though, like, you wanna kiss me, you wanna, like all of that. Like it's that's so Gryffindor, because it's the paradox at work, because he thinks he is that hot, but there's no way that he thinks Leia actually likes him. But he likes her. So in order to not make that apparent at all, he he like goes like, you love me, you want to hug me. So this is what he's doing here. He's doing all that shit to get a rise out of her. So she goes, I fucking hate you. And so he can go, yeah, I knew it. You can't hurt me. I hurt myself.
Oh my god.
You can't tell me for serious that you don't love me because I pissed you off and you yelled it at me and I knew it all along. Ha 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 ha. Like,
But he really, oh my god. What is it, the beginning of Empire Strikes Back when he's leaving to like go settle his debt? And he just like, he's joking, but like he really just wants to hear like, I want you to stay because I need you.
Yeah, and then she's like, why would you think that? And he's like, oh, you want to give me, like he ramps it up a million, like the next line. He's like, you want to give me a kiss goodbye? And she's like, I'd rather kiss a Wookiee. And he's like...
I was talking to Lauren about this too. When he finds out that Luke is her brother, the way he responds, it's like it's delayed. He's almost like, so does that actually change anything? like it's very like when in our Twilight episode we said Edward, we were making fun of him because Edward Cullen is like, you want to fuck Jacob? You want to have his puppies? I don't care. Whatever will keep you alive. Like do whatever you want. That's the simpiness coming out. I saw it for a brief glimmering moment there. He's like, your brother, huh?
And right before that, he was like, I'm willing to martyr myself, obviously, here in this situation. Yeah. I'll make myself unhappy.
Yeah, that was the point where he was like, I have to face the emotions. We have to just say it so that I can be KO'd and this can be over. And like, he didn't expect anything to come from it. And she was like, no, I love you. And he was like, what? Yeah, but
aggravating people does work.
Like what? But yeah, no, and I would be so interested. I guess it has to be out there, like whatever Han was doing while Leia was training, and then she got pregnant. Like they got married, obviously, but and then like Luke goes to kill Kylo, and he's like, my son is an evil little fascist now, so I need to leave. This is
obviously this is my fault, so I have to go.
This one's
both
on me.
of them did it. Both Gryffindors did this.
Oh my god! Yep, they immediately fucked off.
Yeah, no. Luke was like, I failed the new Jedi Order, and I tried to kill him. That was probably my bad. And Han was like, this is my seed. So
that's my bad.
So I need to get out of here.
And Leia's like, what the fuck is wrong with everyone I know? You're all so stupid.
I've surrounded myself with these dumb lines. Yeah. And then I'm unsurprised, but very annoyed when they do these predictable things.
Yeah. Well, and talk about building your entire identity around a symbolistic trauma or triumph object.
Oh my god.
The Millennium Falcon.
This is a big one. Yeah, that's a big one. It's
that's so true.
So like his son goes evil, and he's like, "Man, remember when I made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs? I should go find my ship." The good old days.
I was gonna compare it to like Dean with Baby, but I feel like it's even more. Well, maybe it's very similar, maybe a little more so. But it's like if you insult the Falcon, you're insulting Han because like he is the ship.
That's
like,
the thing too. Like
so fucking personally.
It's a person. Like it wasn't even his fucking ship. It's Lando's, and he saw it, and he did something cool in it once.
He imprinted on it.
He did something cool in it once, and he was like, "This is the rest of my life. It's this ship." And it was like.
Gryffindors are always looking for that moment that makes them cool.
Yeah, it's just such a big part of his identity.
Really destroyed them, and they have to punish themselves for the rest of their life.
Yes. Yes.
That makes sense to me.
But no. And then when he does, come back when he finds Rey in the ship or whatever, and he goes back, and they're like, "You should probably do something about your son." He knows he's gonna die. Like he knows. And he absolutely knows he's walking into his death, and he does it. And I feel that's very Gryffindor too. And it's it's also such a Gryffindor that he knew it was going to happen, and he was like, "Could work, could not." Like he's just like,
that's just Han though. It's his whole personality. This might work, yeah. When has it not worked out for me? But he does go into it with that idea. I think he always knows, like, there's a chance this could go really fucking south.
I feel like that's his entire
it's cool.
life.
I'm still going to do it.
It's like a series of, like, putting it off with could work, could not. Mm-hmm. And, like, he finally hit his didn't work.
Yep. He finally found the one time that it didn't.
Yeah.
He just sacrifices himself a lot too. Just a huge Gryffindor thing. He does it. Is it Empire Strikes Back? When he could escape with like Chewie, but he's like go take care of Leia.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember talking about that with Rachel too. Like he was, I'm passing along my responsibility temporarily, but it's still my responsibility by extension. I'll be back for it. And or fucking when the first time when he's about to when he's about to be frozen, and Leia's like, "I love you," and his bitch ass is like, "I know."
Like, that is such a
you didn't know anything. You
nope.
bullshit.
Nope. We're gonna say we did though.
You're going into that fucking Cairo thing with your warm fuzzy heart. Like, oh my god, she likes me.
This knowledge will not keep me alive.
This is how I won't die. Like, it'll keep me warm.
But like,
pathetic.
So question: like, if the positions were switched, what would a Slytherin do? Like, would they let someone else get frozen because they'd be more confident that they could then fix the situation?
Dude, I don't know.
Well, what's the most strategic move?
It's different for every situation.
Whatever the most strategic move is in that moment, if they have to be frozen, I think they'd be frozen. If they could get away with not being frozen, they're not going to do it.
But, you know.
Because I was
rather not.
That was the thing that I was like, oh, that's huge Gryffindor, and I was like, but Slytherins could do it too, but it's just a very different reason.
Yeah. It's just reasoning, right? Because if Leia was in that position, I don't know, she probably would have been like, I'm gonna have to trust you to come get me because there's really no other option here. So
rub your brain cells together.
And Han's just like, it could work, or I could be a decorative, floor statue forever. Like, I don't know what'll happen. It's not like I'll know, so whatever. Like, it's just like
it's literally that.
Yeah.
Oh my
god, I love him. He's so stupid.
Yes.
In a completely different way than Luke.
Mm-hmm.
But still similar. But I just love him so much. He's so much fun.
He's a really fun character.
We talked about Lando too fast too, where he was like, he wouldn't betray, and then he does, but then Lando comes back and is his friend again, and he nothing.
Like, see?
He's like, wow, you Darth Vader showed up and he stole my girlfriend and I got frozen, and Lando's like, yeah, but I came to save you, and he's like, you're right, we're best friends.
That's a thing. Like, Gryffindors are super, super forgiving. We can reach a point, but like, if you've proven yourself to us, we'll keep forgiving you.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you really gotta do some fucked up shit. You have to cross a really big line, and that, like, Han has drawn his. He's like,
you gotta actually kill me.
I get shot. But did you shoot to kill? No. Could I get out of it? Did I get out of it? Could I get out of it? Then we're fine.
Am I alive?
Let's get a drink.
Am I alive?
Yeah.
But did I die?
But did I die?
That's
his line. That's his that's his smuggler code right there. He's like, but did I die? Like, it's okay.
Yeah, I just don't buy into any of the Slytherin bravado that he wants you to buy into. You're falling for it out there, those of you who are sticking with Slytherin for him. You're falling for it. He's a big baby underneath it all. And what a simp.
He's a little damaged boy with abandonment issues.
It's true. And then he does, like, the ultimate move that if this happens to a Gryffindor, you, like, really hate yourself, is when you fuck up at parenting.
Like, no, he fucks up. Sucked. Now I'm the sucky dad.
Yeah. So he's just like, you know what, son, just stab me. It's cool.
I deserve this.
Yeah, I get it,
Stab me or love me again. You gotta pick one, though. I can't live like this.
Nope. Oh, shit, that's perfect.
That's the other thing, too. I was, like, trying to figure out what Kylo's beef with Han was. Was it just that, like, they sent him to that school where Luke almost killed him? Like, well, that was the whole thing? Or, like, he
says a lot of shit about his father.
He was like, he wasn't around, or he wasn't really into me, or, like, but, you should have stopped being, like, a creepy little motherfucker. Like, what?
True. Yeah. It's also like fucking Scorpius in that stupid-ass story. Like, he hates Harry because he's like, oh, my dad thinks he's so cool because he's the fucking chosen one. He's Harry Potter. Like, he didn't.
Oh, Albus.
And Harry, like, cannot deal with being a bad father. Like, he can't deal with it. He's like, How? How did I fuck this up? Yes, Scorpius is the other one. Their names are stupid. I don't care if I get them wrong. But I think that's a big thing for Gryffindors. I don't think Han could really could deal with it on his own. He's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Well, that and then feeling like he let Leia down.
Oh yeah,
she was gonna hate him.
He's like, God, the shame.
Because obviously it's his fault.
He's like,
it's
the
all
shame.
his fault.
We're just not going to exist with it anymore.
Yep.
Dude, if I could go to like a little town, every time I feel ashamed of myself, if I could just like fuck off and leave a map for you to dramatically find me one day, or like drive my fucking spaceship with my like hairy friend, I would go. I would go in 2 seconds.
Same.
The shame spiral, you know?
I also thought it was so funny too how he's like, you hear about how he was so shitty to Kylo, and he's like pretty good with Rey. Like, I also, you know, Rey is a very different person from Kylo. So I think Han's attitude works with her, where he's like, where she's like hugging him, and he's like, I hate this, get off me, I don't give a shit. And she's like, I know you like it. Like, you know? Whereas Kylo's
idiot.
like, tell me you love me.
Well, I've already figured Kylo. I'm not going to say anything.
Oh my God. I've not even
Kylo's
thought
funny.
about that.
He's a funny guy.
I fucking hate him. I can't stand him.
I don't think anyone likes it. Well, no, that's a lie.
No, there are
People like him.
Yeah.
How do you have the two coolest parents in the world? And you're like, you know what would be better if I rebelled and like did the genocide?
Hannah,
like
his
Grandpa.
uncle almost murdered him.
His uncle tried to fucking kill him, yeah.
Also, he said that my lightsaber isn't allowed to glow red, so what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? I have black long hair. It has to glow red.
It's got to match my fringe, okay?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well,
so yeah, two Gryffindors and a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I apologize if you really, really disagree with the sorts. I always feel bad. Like with major franchises, you know, it's a little different when it's like just like a fun TV show where people aren't as crazy about it. But I know Star Wars fans are very passionate.
I mean, hit us up with counterpoints if you think we're wrong.
Sure.
Yeah, we're not. So
we're not.
I don't tell you,
but like, come at us with counterpoints, and we'll tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, we love a good argument over here. But I don't know. I'd like to know if you listen to the episode, I would love to know how you think any of the three could go anywhere else. Because I feel like these are very solid points.
Yeah.
And at the end of every argument, I'm always like, man, how could anyone argue with that? And then you know what? People do. It's shocking that everyone thinks that we're right all the time.
I mean, you're my friend. How could you argue with me?
Yeah. It's true.
I can argue with you, my friend.
Yeah. Well.
If you don't argue with me, how do I know you're my friend?
That's true. That's also true.
But then you have to validate me afterwards to
yes.
make me realize that you still like me.
We got to at the end be like, we were just, that wasn't
What are
right.
friends
okay,
if they haven't stabbed each other in the back? Says Han Solo.
You haven't almost killed me.
Remember when I shot Greedo first?
What is with the people who say he didn't shoot first? How is it? Of course he shot first.
They were like, he's gonna look like this like really awful guy who goes around shooting people, so we should edit it.
Well,
so he doesn't shoot first, and then people were like, "That's fucking stupid. Edit it back."
Stupid.
So they did.
His whole personality is shoot first.
Yeah,
absolutely,
100%.
It absolutely is. Fucking butterfly lands on him, and he's like, "This might kill me."
Hannah, make the meme with the butterfly. Is this a threat? And there's like a gun in the lower right corner. It's perfect. That's him. Well, two Gryffindors and a Slytherin certainly make for a very nice dramatic story. I will say that.
Yep. Really good banter.
Yep.
All around.
I think it's super interesting how it mellows out in the later series too, when Finn and Rey and Poe take over, and you have these three, and you see them through the eyes of these younger characters who are very different houses than, as far as I'm thinking right now, from what they are, and they're staring at all these old people like, what the fuck?
Why are they all so dramatic?
Drinking blue milk and Leia's like, I must be stoic and carry on. And Rey's like, your husband's been gone for 15 years? And they're like, what the fuck is going on here?
I heard they all so dramatic.
Yeah, absolutely. They absolutely is. Fucking butterfly lands on him, and he's like, this might kill me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking butterfly lands on him, and he's like, this might kill me.
And it makes perfect sense to them.
It's like
This is just how it's always
this is
been. I
just
don't know what to tell you,
how
kid.
your life has led us. So
You ask too many questions.
Right.
Just go
we're
train.
all talking to each other in our heads, so you need to calm down.
Yeah. We're fine. We're all fine here.
We're all healthy and emotionally stable.
Oh, yes. Super, super stable.
God, they did them so dirty. They're like, what if we wrapped up this series really healthily and then we were just like 15 years later, they're fucked up.
I can't. Oh. Yeah. No. It's such a happy ending
I know.
in the original.
Mm-hmm. Where they're all partying with the little bear people.
Yeah. And they were like,
Ewoks.
we killed everyone you love.
Yeah. And the Force Ghost are there, and they retconned Hayden Christensen in there, so we were like,
Oh my God.
there he is.
Right.
There he is. It's good Anakin. He wasn't bad at all.
No.
God, I was so confused by that when I rewatched them again when I was older. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Why is he there? Hold on. When did these movies come out?
Yeah.
And I was
Lucas.
sitting there like, these do look really good for the 70s. Wait. I was so fucking confused. Well, it is a space soap opera, and you can't have a soap opera without Slytherins and Gryffindors.
Saga.
Yeah. You can't have it without these two houses,
It's
at
the
least in some
R2-D2
kind of a role.
manipulates the entire story saga, but I don't know. Nobody wants to have that conversation. So
I don't want to have the conversation. I just want to listen to you talk about it.
Oh, it's so fun. I never even gave the character a second thought, and she's sitting there watching it with me like, oh, did you see what R2 did? And I'm like, fucking no, I'm not looking at the robot, I'm looking at the people. What the fuck?
I fucking love R2. And I can't stand C-3PO, but I love R2 and C-3PO's like,
Dynamic.
married energy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Droid does.
Yeah.
Fucking hate C-3PO so much.
He's so fucking obnoxious.
All right.
Coward.
Well, that is Hannah's birthday.
Yeah.
Woo!
Star Wars, guys.
Rate us 5 stars. Argue with us. Come back in 2 weeks when we talk about Mythic Quest. Our new favorite show.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Go watch Mythic Quest right
I
now.
mean, pay the $5 and just do it.
It's the best $5 you'll ever spend.
It is. Absolutely it is. Absolutely.
Until we get a Patreon.
I was gonna say, do we have anything to plug?
This podcast.
That they
Hannah,
give us
where
money
can they
for.
find you? Where can people find you?
Rate
You've
us
been on
5
before.
stars, guys.
Where can they find me? You can find me online at My Star Is Fading. Or
And what about any projects you're working on?
I am currently the mod of a zine for Steve and Tony, as in
Cute.
Steve Rogers and Tony Stark. Shut up, Larry. You can find that at Steve Tony Zine on Twitter.
Nice.
It's very exciting.
Well, for any Steve Tonys out
Steve
there.
Peggy for life. That's a joke. Don't come for me. Peggy didn't deserve that shit.
Ooh, the shots just don't stop going.
You were trying to end the podcast, and then she brought up Endgame again.
Well, we all love Tony Stark here, and that's
We
all
do.
that
Yeah,
matters.
that is all that matters.
It's true.
It's true.
Alrighty. Well, we'll catch you on the next one. Go watch Mythic Quest. Get ready.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. Oh,
And happy
fuck.
birthday!
Yay!
Good.
Me, I exist.
Yay! We perceive you.
Oh my god.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Sort of Brilliant. If our sorting choices inspired any rage or excitement, we'd love to hear from you. We're open to feedback, suggestions for characters to sort, and solid counter-arguments with citations.
Never forget your citations. You can find us hanging out on Twitter and Instagram at SOB_pod or shoot us an email at sortofbrilliant@gmail.com.
And since we're not above begging, please rate and subscribe to Sort of Brilliant on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please share our posts on social media. And if you're a Gryffindor, maybe you'll inspire sorting fights among your own friend group.
The theme music is Hot Shot by Scott Holmes. Can't wait to sort with you again next time. Bye!